Welcome, Gemini. This is your weekly focus for the week of June the 3rd. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Let's get right to the cards. I'm so excited because there's, once again, you guys are just rocking the free world here with the astrology alone. Okay, this week you have the Sun conjuncting Venus in your home. You have the new moon in Gemini, so new starts and new beginnings. And you have Mercury conjuncting Jupiter in your home. So, oh my goodness, right? What beautiful, wonderful energy for growth and prosperity and abundance and love to come rushing into your world. Let's see what the cards have to say. I'm excited to see what the cards are going to be. Okay, underlying energy. Look at this, the Eight of Swords. This is a card where you thought you were trapped. You thought you couldn't move forward. You thought that this was the end of the road, that this is the highest level you could obtain. That, yeah, there was lines drawn in the sand that you now can't cross or anything. And this is a card where we get kind of a new perception, a new understanding, a new awareness. We see how we can step forward. We see how we weren't trapped. We could have went forward at any time, but we didn't have the key. We didn't have the understanding. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have the wisdom. We didn't maybe have the opportunity. Okay, here we are blindfolded, but our hands are free. So it's about taking off that blindfold and really looking at what is available to us that really sparks this new enthusiasm, this new, this new want for stepping into wonderful, I guess, is really what it's all about here. Stepping into wonderful. Okay. Our first card, look at this. We start with the Emperor. So you are the Emperor this week. Absolutely. Now, the Emperor is one of our highest diplomats. He is also one of our highest intuitives. So know that your mind and your heart are working in unison. So even though we can have these beautiful fantasies of what we want to bring into our world, we also have a very practical side too of what is doable, what is obtainable, what can I do in this moment. We look towards the light here. I haven't really noticed this in a lot of the readings that I've done with this deck throughout the years. That light was a beacon for me, and it's becoming a beacon again, telling us that we have to have that conversation seemingly with ourselves, with God, our angels, our guides, the universe, our higher self, talking about what we want to step into, what we want to create, what we want to be successful at. This is about making the plan. This is about making the strategy. This is about understanding what we want to grow. And when we have that Emperor energy underneath the basis of our new goals, our new dreams, our new desires, we know that it's going to turn out exactly as we see it or better. That is the only two options available under the Emperor kind of energy. So know that so long as you are consistent with your focus, your energy, your determination, that you will see the successes, that you will see the great joy that you are working towards. We have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about making choices about what we really truly want to bring in. Now, notice a couple of things about this card. Okay, first of all, our surroundings are completely cleared out. So, for the first couple of days, we'll still be in full moon energy. So, release, let go. Okay, make room for the new things that you want to bring into your world. We also have two doorways, two arches there. One is the full moon, which we start the week in, but then we have the new moon. So we are prepared to start setting some new goals, some new dreams for ourselves. We are anticipating it coming towards us. We are asking for it to come into our life, to infuse us in some way with that magical energy, to bring it into being, to make it tangible, to make it a part of our reality going forward. We're summoning it towards us. We're asking for the new beginnings, the new starts, the new adventures, the new opportunities, the new relationships to show up in our life. Whatever we may be asking for here. We'll get to specifics in a minute. We have the Nine of Swords. So don't sweat the small stuff. You may feel like... if this is maybe overanalyzing things, or this could be where we've been too assertive. We want to seek harmony. Well, we want to be assertive this week, though. So maybe we don't feel comfortable being assertive, or maybe we are being overindulgent in some ways. That could definitely be. With all this beautiful energy, we can easily become very overindulgent in our life. So we want to indulge. Absolutely. I'm not saying don't indulge. Absolutely indulge. That's where the joy and happiness rise. But we also need to do it in moderation. We also need to think through, are we meeting our responsibilities, our obligations? Are we spending all of our money on this, but when we have to pay the bills? It's kind of like, bringing in the balance a little bit. So where we may feel we may beat ourselves up a lot when we overindulge, when we do just too much for ourselves. But I do think that it is important to do that when you have all this wonderful energy in your life as well, because that just raises your confidence and your self-worth. That makes you feel strong. Your voice becomes stronger, your actions become stronger. So yeah, I can see this card almost being like we've overindulged. We're beating ourselves up in some way. So stay grounded, stay humble. I think that would be the best course of action, because there is a lot of magic around you this week, and we can, actually get lost in that kind of energy if we allow it. We have, as the overriding energy, the Queen of Cups. So this is understanding that we are deserving. And so because it's over our reading, this is a strong sense of identity. Just like I was saying, your confidence is somehow raised, your self-worth. You see your worth. You see your value. You see how you should be pampered, how you should have abundance and joy and beauty in your life. You're seeing these things, and maybe that is part of what you are asking to come in. And I think so long as we have a strategy and a plan, one that we can work, one that we can give our attention to, that it will come to being. We just have to stop beating ourselves up over some of the little things in life, okay? If it's not going to matter in 5 years, please don't let it eat away at you. In some way, you feel exposed here in some way. So maybe you're opening up to something new and something that you're not too sure about, something that fills you with a little bit of anxiety or a little bit of fear, because you haven't really, maybe it's uncharted territory for you. I mean, we have all this new energy coming out, so it could definitely be uncharted territory coming into your life, but so that could make you feel a little ungrounded or a little bit off kilter, teeter-tottering back and forth on different decisions you have to make. Maybe this is a strong decision, or maybe we worry a little bit that we haven't done enough in our last part of our journey in order to really take the step yet. You have, otherwise you wouldn't be at this place in time. The Six of Cups is saying something could be holding you back. Absolutely. The Six of Cups is here to say, well, it could be something from your past, but I didn't really get that. Once again, I'm tying that more into your self-worth. Okay. So we choose what we are going to invite into our world based on our beliefs. And by the age of, I think it's 7. By the age of 7, we have learned from our peers, from our environment, from our parents, from our teachers, whatever. We have learned the core of who we are going to be going forward, to keep ourselves safe, to allow people to invite in love, to be able to express love, how we express love, how we view our world, how we view our environment. And so something might have been said a long time ago that actually interrupts in this dream in some way, making you feel like you are out of sorts, making you feel in some way like you don't deserve the very best of the best, because you do. We all do. I'm not just saying that because you're a wonderful Gemini. I'm saying that because it's the truth, first of all, and we're all entitled to that feeling of worth, because we are worthy, we are deserving, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we tend to forget that about ourselves, just how beautiful we are, and that's from the inside out. So maybe it is dispelling something that was said to you, maybe it's getting a new perspective, an observation of something that was said to you a long time ago, and you took it as a truth. You know, it could have been as easy as you were eating your fries with your fingers, and somebody leaned over and said, "Oh, animals eat with their fingers and their hands. You don't want anybody to think that you're an animal or something like that. You want to use a fork to eat your fries. That's the civilized way. That's the way everybody eats their food, with the fork. So if we want to be loved, if we want to be accepted, what do? We grab that fork. You know, I'm determined to eat with my fingers, fries with my fingers, though. It's just way too much fun, right? So, okay, coming into the week, we have the King of Cups sitting right in front of the Emperor. So it is about, you know, this is a week where we feel very grounded. We feel very strong. So this is a week to, you know, use that strong confidence to connect with others, to open doors. I mean, you're strong in your voice and your intellect, and there's magic all around you with all this energy happening in your first house, in your home house. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, when we understand that we are grounded, when we are secure, when we are safe, that's when the Emperor kicks in there and says, let's look about our future. Let's see how we can grow. Let's see how we can expand that horizon of ours. And then we start summoning in those new beginnings, those new starts, those things that we want to have happen through our thoughts, through our actions. Maybe it's through socializing. Maybe it's just knowing that we are enough and not letting these voices of the past hinder us in our approach of going forward. And believe that this is meant for you, because it is. Okay, as we close off the week, we have the Knight of Pentacles. We're going a little bit more with the flow now. We are trusting in the universe and God, our angels, our guides, ourselves, to take us where we need to go, that we know that we don't need the extras. We don't really need a weapon. We don't need the armor. I mean, he is the only king that doesn't, or the only knight that doesn't have his armor on. He feels that he is protected, that his abundance is his and his alone, that nobody can really take that away from him. He doesn't need to pack water or food or a blanket, because as we need those things will be provided to us on our path. So it's about having a patience with the growth of a dream, a desire, a goal. And knowing that when we reach, having that patience to know that when we reach a certain point, that's when those beautiful, beautiful gifts will come in and help us in some way. So there's no need to worry about money or being protected, or, well, there is a worry and a need for it, but it's more of, you know, sometimes, especially being after this card, we protect ourselves too much. We put on our armor, we grab our weapons before we go out into the world to face the world. We're ready for the conflict. We're ready for the challenge. We're ready for the fight. We're ready for, the clawing for what is ours kind of thing. And we're trained to do that from birth, actually. So here we are, right? That we have to compete, that we have to be stronger, that we have to take from somebody else in order to have it for ourselves. And, you know, we have a sense by the end of the week that none of that is true. That what is ours will be waiting for us, and all we need to do is show up. Right? To give it the focus, the attention, the energy it needs to thrive, to grow, to become the success that we are asking into our world. For work and career, we have the Three of Pentacles. It is all about rolling up our sleeves, getting to work. Let me lift that up a little bit. So the Three of Pentacles is here. It's one brush stroke at a time. It's about growing our, you know, it is a pentacle, so it is about growing our money. Absolutely. But it could be more about growing our self-worth, growing our dreams, growing our horizons to what can truly be in our life. So what do we think we are worthy of, deserving of? That is what is coming. What are we hoping to bring in when it comes to work and career? It's one step at a time. So if we're going for that promotion, we're maybe going to take a course or something so that we have the information, or a workshop so that we know what we're talking about in that interview. So we sound intelligent. We sound like we can do what we already know we can do, right? By getting our voice behind us in some way. Going out and socializing with purpose, shaking hands with the people that you want to be involved with, going down the road when it comes to work, career, or maybe it's some kind of stature in the community. Maybe it's some work and service that you want to do in the community. That could be as well. Don't just expect to go in and become the president. Okay, go in, and it's one step at a time to grow your integrity, to let other people know. And I don't think you have any problems with that. I think that you, under this energy, you're like a magnet when it comes to people being drawn to your warmth, your charisma, your light. I don't think you'll have any problems with people wanting to connect with you, wanting to be a part of your world in some way. For love and relationships, we have the Two of Swords. This is about making some decisions, some choices about you and how you want to go forward. Maybe you've just met somebody and the people in your life don't approve, or maybe they don't like your arrangements with somebody that you're with. You have to make these decisions for yourself. What makes you happy? What brings in joy for you? So we're blindfolded in this card, and we are wearing red. So there is a courage that needs to take place here to stand in your truth, in your relationships. Now, a couple of things. We might get a new perception because we are touching that card. We're also touching the Emperor. So it's about, if you're in a relationship right now, what do you want that relationship to look like, and to make some kind of strategy, one step at a time. Once again, we're not going to throw it all against the wall here. We're going to just add one thing at a time and see how things work out and whether or not that thing works. Does it have traction? Does it move us towards where I need this relationship to be in my life? It's also about believing that you are the best of the best and you deserve the very best. So when those red flags come up, you are going to say, not for me. And it's about summoning in that person that you really want to come in. So, it's about believing that that person is out there, that you don't have to settle for a second best, that you don't have to. And also it's about, you don't, and even if you're in a relationship right now and it's a long-term relationship, you've been together, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, it's totally something that you need to say is, I need to be loved in this way. And you are deserving of that. And you are worthy of that. And if they love you, they will easily bend. They will easily bend to put that smile on your face, that joy in your heart, because you would do the exact same for them. We have rough waters behind us, so it could be quite an emotional decision that we have to make within the relationship, or we're making relationships as a broad brushstroke on what we want a relationship to look like. Our final card is the World card. Look at that, the World card. So there is a brand new tomorrow waiting for you. We're going to put that here. So we're actually summoning in our tomorrow. And what is blocking us? The World card. What is blocking us are those things that we refuse to let go of, to move past, that we drag with us every step of the way, month after month, year after year, or week after week, or day after day, certain it's about separating ourselves from what is pulling us down, what no longer works for us, what no longer has value in our life, no longer supports us. That could be people, that could be environments, that could be the things in our life, the things that we do, the people that we associate with. There are loose ends that we need to tie up, some things that we do need to leave in our rearview mirror to let our world explode into beauty and wonderment. I see this as a very strong week for you, inviting in harmony, but being assertive in what you need in order to bring in that harmony. In other words, you're not cowering back and allowing them, allowing anybody else to have their way in order to create that harmony. You are saying, no, this harmony is going to be, and it's going to be because I want these things in my world, in this manner, in this way. I think you have a very strong voice and a very charismatic voice this week in doing that, okay? Because we have Mercury with Jupiter, so your voice has to be melodic. So know that, and we don't have to overpower. Another thing that could happen this week, actually, that wasn't in the cards, but I know because of the astrology alone, is you might want to talk a lot. Okay, you might just be constantly talking. You've got this enthusiastic communication happening. Just be careful that you're not throwing we're also listening to people, okay, that we're not taking the stage, that we're not overindulging in the time and the presence that we are taking away from the rest of the group. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.